What's going on, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to another exciting episode of 5 recent releases that you should check out. I honestly didn't think I was going to have enough for this week, but yet here we are, which means we have 5 albums that definitely deserve your investigation that were just released this past Friday. So let's cut with intros, let's cut with trying to make things look all fancy. I'm sure the thumbnail is done just about enough whenever it comes to that. Let's jump right in. Let's jump right into our first recommendation, which is Earthship with their album Hallowed, or should I say Hollowed. I can't talk today. It's fun. And this is a disc from a German group of sludge/doom metalers that definitely have a thick sound. They have big riffs that definitely accumulate and just sort of populate this album. It's something that your ears almost immediately capture, and it doesn't let go throughout the entirety of its duration. And what's kind of cool about the limited edition of this album is that you get a bonus 12th track to go with the 11 that you already have, as well as two other bonus tracks that are acoustic versions of some of the songs that you get, which are neat little interpretations. Songs that I highly recommend off of this album are the title track, Hollowed, as well as In Fire's Light, and there was a video that is available over on YouTube for Safeguard of Death, so if you don't want to just take the leap right away based off this recommendation, why am I doing them then? You can go over there and you can check out that video and see what you think about these guys. I really like this album a lot, so scope out Earthship with their album Hollowed. Our second exploration is Steve Vai with the new album Modern Primitive. What's cool about this is that on the deluxe version of this disc, you get the standard studio album for Modern Primitive, as well as the 25th anniversary edition of Passion and Warfare, which many people believe is one of Steve Vai's first great prominent albums. But you can debate that all you want in the comments below. But that's just what some people say. This is a really weird album. This is one that could be for the more adventurous listener as opposed to just the casual follower, considering it has elements of blues and jazz, it has some avant-garde weirdness, some progressive rock, some progressive metal, a lot of guitar, and just a lot of exploration. There's some piano that you hear on this cut, and this is something that happens a little bit more frequently, and I have to say that Pink and Blows Over, which is the final 3 songs on this album, are exceptionally interesting, considering their collective runtime gives it about 20 minutes, which, this is a long album. This is not a short affair to really be fair, but this is one that seems like a big-time exploration in old-school, old-style, free-form jazz or blues, or just free-form music. It has a lot of interesting motion to it. There's a lot of softness during the 13-minute second part. It's one that sort of just feels like a gigantic improvisation, and that kind of makes it a little bit neat. Now, there's also some themed work on this. There are some songs that definitely feel like their vocals have some larger-than-life names on it, even though it's not the case. For example, Never Forever, which is the 8th song, sounds like the vocals have a little bit of a David Bowie register to it, and then I also like the softness of the lost chord moving into songs such as Fast Note People, which literally is 6 minutes of just assault. It's fantastic. This is not one that I feel is going to be for everybody. In fact, this is one that even a casual Vai fan may even decide to take a pass on, but I feel like they're going to be missing out on something that's a little bit unique. It shows the multiple sides of Vai, his multiple influences, the different things that really drive and move him as a musician, and I think this is a pretty cool representation of what he really means to the musical world. That creative zen that is present on this album is one that certainly should be explored and at least respected, even if you don't find it to be something that sets your world on fire. So give Modern Primitive a shot if you're the adventurous type. For those of you who feel we don't talk about enough death metal during these shows, how about Internal Suffering? How about Cyclonic Void of Power? Just came out this past Friday. This is also an album that is 10 years in the making. It's been 10 years ever since Internal Suffering's last album was released. It was also regarded by many as one of their best. This 10 years was also mirrored with the 4 years worth of hiatus and just a lot of time preparing for this album to be released. This is a very direct death metal assault from Colombia, and this is one that uses just the strength of just hyperactive riffing, just fantastic percussion, bass that is in your face, and then just gargle vocals that just absolutely slay. This is something where also all of the song titles feel like novels. They read like novels, and whenever you take a listen to this, it is something that the traditional death metal practitioner, one that really likes direction whenever it comes to the assault that's on their ears is definitely going to be satisfied. If you recall Internal Suffering's previous albums, you'll understand that this is their modus operandi. They do not like to stray from that path. However, songs that I definitely recommend scoping out for the casual onlooker would be Unleash the Antarctic Colossus, perhaps the title track, Cyclonic Void of Power, Monumental Crusade, as well as the final cut, Orbitus Ancestris de Podor, which I no doubt just destroyed because I don't speak the language, but it's a really awesome final cut on this disc. Really ends it on a very high note. I enjoyed what that was able to deliver. So for those of you looking for a death metal wet dream, check out the 10-Year Return album. The 10-Year Return album. It's been a decade by Internal Suffering, entitled Cyclonic Void of Power. Do it now. Thank one of your own for this one, Cover Killer Nation. This was recommended to me by Nick Mejos. I will call you out because this was an awesome recommendation. Band's name is Harm. The album's name is October Fire. These guys are a Norwegian thrash metal band. Yeah, Norwegian thrash metal. It's a thing that definitely exists, and it's pretty fucking awesome. Mainly because this is a thrash metal group that definitely has a little bit of that twinge of Scandinavian black metal every once in a while, or a twinge of that European death metal sound every once in a while that definitely gives this a lot of character. The riffs are fast and furious, and whenever you get that little piece of difference, a little piece of infusion of those other styles, it gives this album a tremendous amount of character. Now, this is an album that is streaming over on Bandcamp. I will leave you the link in the description box below for you guys to check these guys out. This is definitely one that you're going to want to pick up, however. Really love the title cut on this disc, considering it just slows down the pace completely. After breaking your neck for the first couple of songs, it slows this down to a crawl. It gives you some of those eminences of black and thrash metal. It gives you some of those eminences of just a solid piece of musicianship, and then just explodes and rip-roars through your face. Man, I don't know if there's any other lame way for me to describe this album aside from it's really, really good. You should probably check this one out. It's over on Bandcamp. The link is over in the description box. Check it out. You are not going to regret this. Man, this is one that a lot of people are going to pass by on. Mistake. It's a mistake. Don't pass on this. I think I'm going to need to apologize to France for this last one because I'm about to ruin that language. Fortress with their brand new album, Thèmes pour la Rébellion. I hope that I didn't screw that up. I know that my dialect sucks. Now, we talked about with the last band, Harm, about a little bit of black metal being infused within some thrash. Well, this is a group that is basically pure black metal, but does have some of the speed and the aggression that you sometimes channel through thrash metal in order to create a wall of sound that just has a whole lot of just destruction behind it. This is definitely music that really will suit the black metal fans' fancy, and this is certainly a group that has been on their tongue before. They've no doubt talked about this group in the past, considering they do have quite the underground following. Their last album came in 2011, was pretty well received, and this one, I think, has that same fate really in front of it. This is a disc that just does not keep its foot off of the accelerator throughout the entirety of this album, of this experience. It just continuously is assaulting you with the riffs, and it's considerably louder with screams that you hear, the vocals in the background that sort of just pummel you alongside of the drums and percussion. It's just got a lot of just destructive quality to it. And whenever you take a look at the cover of this album, which is no doubt right there, you see there's a lot of fire. It looks like there's a village or an area of land on fire, and that's a great way to really describe this album. You can see, or you can hear through it, the destruction systematically of an entire landscape, of an entire place. And you can definitely call some of these songs the sounds of each individual structure burning, until you get to the very final cut on this disc, which is very slow. It's one that's very kind of atmospheric. It has a little bit more of an eeriness to it, and you can almost paint that as just looking at the landscape that is now no longer there, where only embers and a little bit of smoke billow because the destructive deed has been done. Certainly a hell of an album for you to scope out. I would give you some recommended tracks, but again, don't want to bastardize the language too much. Just give this one a full, close examination if you're a fan of black metal, or if you're curious about black metal, because it could make you a fan. And there you have it, ladies and gentlemen. 5 recently released albums that you should check out. If you thought that there was anything that we missed, I know that some of you were talking about the Browning. I think that's what it's called, the Browning, something like that. It's just, I was never very high on the band, and I just didn't quite get the opportunity to get to it, because I was out of town for a couple days last week, and was kind of occupied this past weekend. This is why this video is a little bit tardy, and like I said, I didn't really think that we were going to get one in at all, so I'm pleased that that was not true. But if you felt that there was anything that we missed aside from the Browning, leave them in the comments below. And if there are albums that you're excited about this week that are coming for the first full weekend of July, let me know in the comments below. We will be discussing in full album reviews the new Chelsea Grin and the new Fates Warning, but if there's any others that should be considered or considered for this series, let me know. I'm Coverkillernation. I'll talk to each and every one of you guys next time. Take care. I'm out of here.